The first one is for you to forward your petition to the head office. If not the head office, we have zonal offices and state offices. We have an email, info@icpc.gov.ng. You can equally submit your petition.
Petitioners are protected. Those who give information, intelligence, and then write petition to the commission, they are protected.
Hello and welcome to Transparency Files, ICPC's weekly television program. I am your host, Murna Barnabas Atiai. Corruption is a major challenge that affects governance, development, and public trust. But the fight against corruption is not limited to government agencies alone. It requires the active participation of citizens. The good news is that you do not need to leave your home to take action. With the right information and tools, anyone can report corruption safely, easily, and effectively. In today's edition, we explore how to report corruption from the comforts of your home, the importance of petitions, and how citizens can partner with the ICPC to promote accountability and transparency. Also on the program, we bring you updates from our state offices and other exciting segments. Stay with us. Let's join Joy Aja for this week's anti-corruption highlights. It's over to you, Joy.
Hello viewers, welcome to this segment on anti-corruption stories. My name is Joy Aja. ICPC has called for a strengthened partnership with the media, even as it recorded significant anti-corruption wins, including the recovery of over 37.4 billion naira and $2.3 million in 2025, underscoring the need for sustained collaboration to consolidate progress and reinvigorate Nigeria's anti-corruption drive. The chairman of the ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu SAN, made the appeal during his welcome address at a joint workshop organized by the Commission and the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, held in Abuja. Dr. Aliyu described the media as a cornerstone of the anti-corruption framework, highlighting the critical roles journalists play as watchdogs, agenda setters, and catalysts for institutional reform.
ICPC has been making efforts in ensuring corruption prevention through various of its strategies. At the ICPC, we firmly believe that prevention remains the most effective and sustainable approach to combating corruption in this country. In this regard, the Commission has prioritized oversight of public expenditure through Constituency and Executive Policy Tracking Initiative (CPTI). This ensures that public funds translate into tangible outcomes for citizens. Notably, under the written basis of project tracking, the Commission monitored about 950 projects across 26 states and FCT, valued at approximately 450 billion naira. In addition, projects under the Federal Ministry of Works valued over 21 trillion naira were tracked. This reflects the scale of our preventive oversight. These interventions have exposed abandoned and underperforming projects, compel contractors to back to site, and strengthen accountability in public service delivery. Ultimately, project tracking is not just an oversight function. It is a preventive tool that ensures value for money and deters corruption before it occurs. Distinguished members of the press, the fight against corruption is a shared responsibility. It requires strong collaboration between institutions and the media. We must work together to deepen investigative reporting, support public awareness, and promote responsible journalism that advances accountability and good governance.
Delivering the keynote address, Professor Umar Pate underscored the media's indispensable role in reinforcing Nigeria's anti-corruption architecture. He acknowledged measurable progress, noting that in addition to the recoveries made by the ICPC in 2025, Surveys indicate that 70% of Nigerians refused to pay bribes in 2023, a sign of growing public resistance to corrupt practices.
Efforts have been made, but the efforts may not be as visible, as high as we may wish. But the good thing is that there's a starting point. And the perception of the public is also changing. In the past, the perception was you can go and go scot-free. Today, the perception is you may do it, you may escape, you may not escape. It's a matter of time. And perception is extremely important in establishing believability and trust in the human mind. So this strategy developed by the ICPC over time is important in investing in the perception of individuals and, of course, Nigerians.
In his remarks, the national president of the NUJ, Comrade Alhassan Yahya Abdullahi, advocated for sustained cross-sector collaboration in the fight against corruption, noting that coordinated efforts would help reshape public perception and entrench a culture of accountability and responsible journalism. Goodwill messages from the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Idris, delivered by the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Mr. Jibrin Baba Ndasi, and the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Anti-Corruption, Senator Emmanuel Udende, represented by the Clerk of the Committee, Mr. Menike Ubo, among other dignitaries, reinforced the need for deeper synergy between journalists and anti-corruption agencies. The workshop themed Reinvigorating the National Anti-Corruption Strategy 2022 to 2026, a post-assessment roadmap for the Fourth Estate, was conceived as a strategic platform to deepen collaboration, generate actionable insights, and reinforce the media's role in anti-corruption governance.
Corruption not in my country. What is wrong with you? Don't mind saying no? Tell them I drove for more than 1 hour.
Ìyá mi, ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wọ́n jẹ́ ká lọ jàre. Ká kúrò níbí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá, màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ yìí. I'm assure you 5 minutes màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi lélẹ́yìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Go down now. It is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
If you're just tuning in, you're welcome to Transparency Files. Petitions are indispensable to ICPC's work. A petition is a formal written request submitted to an authority for investigation and possible prosecution. Most of the cases handled by ICPC begin with petitions submitted by concerned citizens who chose to speak up against corruption. At the ICPC, citizens are encouraged to report corrupt practices, as this is the first step towards ensuring accountability and justice. Section 6A of the Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Act 2000 empowers the Commission to receive and investigate reports of corruption and, where necessary, prosecute offenders. These reports often come in the form of petitions. Interestingly, the law makes provision for everyone, including those who may not be literate in English, to report corruption. So how can you report corruption from the comfort of your home? Let's find out.
We have basically about 3 The first one is for you to forward your petition to the head office. If not the head office, we have zonal offices and state offices. You can submit to your nearest ICPC's office very close to you. The other one is through our website. We have a website, that's icpc.gov.ng. Once you go to the domain name, you will see, once you open the website, there are two options for you to submit your petition. The first one, there is a form on the website where it is indicated there that you can submit a petition. The form will just pop up. You key in all the necessary things. It's just very easy to use. A very good, friendly user, the interface, between you and the form. If you cannot really fill in the form, you can write your own petition. We have an email, info@icpc.gov.ng. You can equally submit your petition, whether from your room, from your bed, or anywhere, your comfort zone. The last one, not the least, is through our toll lines. You can make a call. Somebody at the end can pick your call. It's free. Nobody will charge you on that. Once you speak with our staff here or the desk officer here, we'll take all the necessary things, the things you want to report about the corruption. They will fill in a form and they will do what's needful. They will take the necessary actions. Basically, these are the only three things. There are other means, but for your own comfort or from your own comfort zone, these are the basic ones that any other person can do. If you cannot write, you can make a phone call through your handset with your small data. You can just go to our website, fill a form. If you cannot even do that, you can write your own. You type it through Word or any other pad, notepad, and the rest of them. Then you just attach and submit to our email address, like I mentioned before. Basically, these are the three most important means of reporting corruption to ICPC head office or zonal offices or state offices.
I am a Nigerian, a highly cultured race. My culture abhors corruption, and with my integrity, a new Nigeria is possible. I say no to corruption today to build a future for my children. Join me and imbibe the culture of integrity to build a Nigeria of our dreams.
Section 27 sub 1 of the ICPC Act states that reports of corruption can be made either orally or in writing. If made orally, it will be documented, read back to the petitioner, and signed or thumb-printed. For those unable to write, officers are available to assist and ensure the report is properly recorded and understood. Importantly, petitions can now be submitted online through ICPC's official platforms, making it easier for citizens to report corruption without leaving their homes. Petitions are fully protected under the law. Section 64 sub 1 guarantees that the identity of anyone who reports corruption will not be disclosed. This ensures safety and encourages more people to come forward. However, while reporting corruption is a civic duty, making false petitions is a serious offense punishable under the law. Let's hear from Mr. Golden Iwagu, ICPC's legal counsel.
The informants, petitioners are protected. Those who give information, intelligence, and then write petition to the commission, they are protected until the matter gets to court if it is court-worthy. And that's under Section 64 of the Act. Subsection 1 and 2 protects them. And but however, subsection 3 of that same Section 64 provides that if you give false information to the commission, which to your knowledge is false, because what is expected is a reasonable suspicion of the commission or occurrence of a crime. So, but if you give false information to the commission and the commission has gone out to investigate and all of that, and then it turns out false, the subsection provides that where that occurs, the informant or the petitioner is liable to be prosecuted, and if prosecuted and convicted, the person is liable to a sentence not exceeding 10 years and a fine of 100,000. Now, it will interest you to know that that subsection 64 sub 3 is the subsection carrying the highest punishment in the Act. So the essence is for people who give information to the commission to be sure, because we have discovered over time that people give information because either they have been schemed out of things or out of malice, hatred. So that section is there to guide against all of that so that people don't do that. But if you do it, of course, you'll be prosecuted. And I can tell you that currently we have, before now, we have prosecuted people who gave false information to the commission. So the public is advised, much as we enlist and solicit their support, you're advised to be sure of what information you give to the commission so that you don't run foul of the law.
You're watching Transparency Files. Young people are often at the receiving end of corruption, whether in schools, during job searches, or even when trying to access basic services. But when it comes to speaking up, many choose to stay silent. Why? Today on the youth segment, we explore the fear of reporting corruption among young people and ask the big question, who will talk? Let's hear them.
Well, obviously, the biggest fear is usually retaliation. You cannot quantify how people might receive it or who you're reporting to. So people tend to usually keep quiet and just let it pass over. And in keeping quiet, they become complicit. Whether they choose to or whether they don't choose to, it just happens that way. But there's other ways to go about it. And the government can help people by creating avenues where people can actually report corruption. The first thing is anonymity, guaranteeing the anonymousness of whoever is reporting it. The other part would be ensuring that when corruption cases are reported, it is followed through. Because people lose interest when they report things and they don't get feedback. So creating a feedback mechanism helps. We should be able to go after any government official, irrespective of their rank or their status in the Nigerian setting. It encourages people to feel open to reports. The position they occupy is not it's not guaranteed, it's a privilege, and there's responsibilities that come with it. That when they take things from the government or resources, what they do is they limit other people's opportunities in different ways. And it's because we don't quantify it as economical sabotage. Because moving money from any department or ministry affects people in ways that we're yet to understand. So I would encourage them to please find other ways to build resources instead of limiting other people's opportunities.
Silence makes it easy for perpetrators of corruption to carry out their acts. What I would say is, as a young person, I believe young people are scared. They are scared of retaliation. They are scared of not being protected by the government. So my advice is, even though as an agency at the ICPC, we protect our sources, we protect our petitioners, and we ensure that their informations are not given out. It's coded in our act. But beyond that, we need the government to create a protocol, a whistleblowers protection protocol, to ensure that witnesses, whistleblowers, and other informers are protected under the law.
I think the biggest fear of our youth is retaliation. Looking at our society today, because we fail to put in policies that protect youth, so they are scared of speaking up. We talk about the whistleblower policy, which has been there from 2016, but up to date, there is no passing into it. So it doesn't give the youth the encouragement or the backing, the legal term, but the document just a kind of a guide, but there is nothing there to protect you. So I think fear of retaliation is one thing that makes you. Firstly, the government needs to sign the whistleblower policy. So that's one document that gives legal backing to every informant, younger person who speaks out. Like for the ICPC, the corrupt practices and other related offences that expressly lists in this document, section 64. It gives protection to informants. But I think beyond that, we need the government to step up to this game and pass the whistleblower policy to give them strong backing.
Before we end this week's edition of the program, here is an update on activities from our state offices across the country. Phoenix Apolaha is our guide.
A report from Akwa Ibom State reveals that ICPC has inaugurated Student Anti-Corruption Club and sensitized students and teachers of Pan-African Comprehensive Secondary School in Ibiaku, Uyo, on integrity and anti-corruption values. Speaking during the program, Public Education Officer Ms. Hope Wobo urged students to uphold discipline, obey school rules, and serve as role models. Similarly, from Adamawa State, ICPC has sensitized students of Learning Root Royal Academy in Yola on the dangers of modern-day corruption. Mr. Shadrach Dauda of ICPC warned against examination malpractice and other dishonest practices, stressing that corruption often begins at a young age. He encouraged students to choose integrity and building strong moral values. Coming from Katsina State, the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Mr. Samuel Lodam, represented by Mr. Abdullahi Al-Hassan, has called on students of the Federal University of Transportation, Daura, to actively join the fight against corruption at a sensitization program organized by the University Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, ACTU. He stressed that corruption remains a major challenge affecting national development and urged the students to promote integrity and accountability. The Deputy Registrar, Malam Abubakar Tanimu Ya'adua, emphasized the importance of academic honesty and responsible behavior among students. And from Imo State, the Federal University Teaching Hospital, led by the Acting Chief Medical Director, Dr. Okoro Chukwu, paid a courtesy visit to the ICPC Imo State office to strengthen accountability and integrity within the center. The delegation was received by the resident anti-corruption commissioner, Dr. Agu Amefula, who explained that ICPC has key preventive initiatives, including the Anti-Corruption and Transparency Unit, the Ethics and Integrity Compliance Scorecard, and Corruption Risk Assessment, deliberately designed to proactively identify, block, and eliminate corruption risk before they form within public institutions.
And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Transparency Files. Remember, you can report corruption anytime, anywhere, even from the comfort of your home. Join us again next week, Friday at 6:30 p.m. on the NTA Network and NTA International. Have a wonderful evening. It's bye for now.